Welcome to Wise Up Thriver. It is a joy and a blessing that you are here. If you are new to this channel, my name is Regina Nuwagaba. I believe in empowering potential. And if you are returning to my channel, it is a joy and a blessing to have you here. You are welcome. In this video, I would like to share with you powerful insights that I gained from reading this book, Facing Mountains, by an amazing and phenomenal lady, Jacqueline. Find this book and read it for yourself. Powerful book sharing her life story, her life experiences in a very impactful way. One of the things that I learned from her book is that the physical mountains that we see around us, they in a way represent our life's terrain. Life's trials and triumphs form a complex landscape of highs and lows, twists and turns, which are much like the undulating ridges or the cliffs of the mountains that we see. In life, we have so many experiences, so many highs, so many low moments that in some way are represented by the mountains, by the physical mountains that we see around us. When I read this book last year, I came up with about 5 reasons why I felt it is very important for me to embrace life's mountains, and I'm going to share this with you. The first reason, after some time, a lot of things start making sense when I connect the different dots from the mountains that I have fully embraced in life. Jacque says in her book, many life lessons are only learned when you connect the dots between two seemingly disparate events that happened at completely different times. I have found this to be so true for me. Many times I look back at the different experiences I have had, and it all makes sense. When I connect dots, it makes sense and informs what I see now. The second reason why I think it is important to embrace the mountains I face in life is it helps to shape my values. When you go through one life experience, it shapes your values that you will find very helpful in the next phase or when you are facing the next mountain. The third reason, it helps to build growth and resilience. Embracing life's mountains is a catalyst for growth and resilience. The only way to grow is to grow. And one of the sure ways for us to keep growing is when we fully embrace the mountains that we face in our lives. The next reason, when we embrace the mountains we face, sometimes they are big, sometimes they are like hills, sometimes they are very rugged, other times it is a more favorable terrain. It encourages others. Whether you know it or not, someone is watching. And when we embrace these mountains that we face, we encourage other people to embrace the mountains in their lives. How many people have you looked up to when you are going through a challenging moment and you kept saying to yourself, if my friend could go through it, I will go through it. Now is the time for us to pay it forward by embracing the mountains that we face in our lives. The last reason, it helps us to amass knowledge and experience. The truth is that every mountain is unique, every mountain is different, but there is a key characteristic that is common to all the mountains. They will always be challenging. And since they will always be challenging, it helps for us to know that these mountains are not a piece of cake. we do not face them ignorant of that fact that they will be challenging. Some of the things, some of the lessons, some of the experiences that we have gained by facing the previous mountains can inform how quickly we go up the next mountain. It is very important for us to embrace the mountains that we face in our lives. Next bit of this video, I'll give you highlights about the mountains in life, facing mountains. All this is inspired by this book, Facing Mountains by Jacqueline. ASIIMWE. Number one is that there is always a mountain to face. There is always a mountain to face. Do not show up unprepared. Prepare before you face it. The plateau moments of life are not times of stagnation. They are times for preparation, because right after the plateau, there will be a mountain to face. The next highlight is that facing a mountain tests our emotional limits. I liked this one because it was so real. I could relate with this in so many ways, that facing the mountains tests our emotional limits. If you look into your life, you realize that stresses in one area of our lives have a way of making themselves known in other areas of our lives. Let me give you a simple thing. If I did not sleep well last night and I wake up and go to work, however much I try, in some way it will show up. It will show up, it will show up that I didn't have a good night's sleep. The mountains we face, they test our emotional limits. I just want to encourage you to have the courage to admit that you can't make it to the top of the mountain alone. The mountains I've summited, in so many mountains, so many life experiences I've gone through, I have not made it alone. Sometimes I've thought I could make it alone, only to be stuck midway and start crying for help. So how about this? How about we be vulnerable enough to ask for help and support in whichever way that looks like for you? For some people, it's going to be about praying. For other people, it's going to be about asking a friend to hold your hand. For other people, it's going to be reaching out to a friend and being completely vulnerable and sharing the deepest pains in your life. Because we cannot get to the top of the mountains alone. We need help. We need support, because our emotional limits are going to be tested to the core. The next insight: break camp and move. To break camp and advance. When we have reached the top of certain mountains, it is possible for us to feel like, I have reached, guys, I have made it, look at me. There is a verse in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1, verse 6, where God tells the Israelites, look guys, you have dwelt long enough on this mountain. Come on, break camp and move. Break camp and advance. Growth happens when we are advancing. If we have reached the top of one mountain, let's keep in mind there is another mountain to face. Yeah, we can sit, have a cup of tea, think about the memories, celebrate the win, but also know that there is another mountain to face. Once you have summited the current mountain, do not settle for comfort, because growth happens when you break camp and advance. The next highlight insight is there is no turning back. Once you have decided to climb the mountain, to face the mountain, there is no turning back. I want to encourage you that walk if you cannot run. Crawl if you cannot walk. But either way, keep moving. We have a whole crowd in heaven, on earth, of people who have faced the same mountains before. So please, If they have done it, you can do it. We can do it. That should be our hope, and that should be our courage as we face the mountains in our lives. There is a very good promise, especially as we face these mountains of life. There is a promise. There is a God who says, I will never leave you. I will never leave you. God will never leave us. God does not feel delayed by your pace. He doesn't. By your baby steps. In a way, He knows how to come down to where we are, hold our hand, carry us if He needs to, or let us experience the fullness of it all. But He will never, never leave you. So if you can't find anyone else to go up the mountain with, find God. He will never leave you. And please get to know this, that no mountain is exactly the same. I already talked about this. Because each mountain, as Jacque says, has its own texture, its own challenges, and its own beauty. And the more you climb, the more you face this mountain, the more you know this, and the more you respect it and appreciate the growth that it brings about in you by challenging and expanding your limits. Every mountain will challenge your limits. Every mountain will expand your limits. Every experience you face in life will challenge your limits, but it will also expand your limits. Lastly, as I finish, while we stand at the summit of our present mountain, we can only say to ourselves and those watching our story unfold what Jacqueline says as she concludes her book. My journey is not yet done. My story is not yet complete. I have not yet faced my last mountain. And I think it's the same for all of us. That as we conquer, as we move, as we face all these mountains that come in our lives, we should always know when we finish this one, when we finish the present, we just need to know, I have not yet faced my last mountain. You are all amazing. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for listening to me. Please remember to like our videos, to share. If you have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And bye-bye for now. See you soon.